If your daughter gave your eulogy today, what would she say? That's the question that shattered Anthony. Not just did dad work hard, not did he provide, but was he there? Was he present when it mattered? Was he kind, consistent, unshakable, even when life was heavy? Or would they say, I remember a man who was constantly tired, distracted, on autopilot, here but not there, trying but never really with them. I asked Anthony this question during a coaching session recently, and he didn't answer it right away. His jaw locked up, his hands started shaking, and then he broke. Not from weakness, but because he knew deep down he was made for more. That was the moment everything changed, because instead of running from the guilt, he leaned into it. He made one bold decision to stop drifting and start living the legacy he was born and called and created to live. And in this video, I'm going to show you how we did it step by step so you can do it too. Welcome back. My name is Coach Red Wallace. I'm the founder of the Better Than Best Academy, and with years of experience as a faith-based legacy coach, I help Christian men like you reclaim your confidence, walk in boldness, and lead your families with strength and peace. And if you've been feeling like you're just existing, checking boxes, but falling short when it comes to home, this is your moment. The time is now. Let's dive in. Anthony's story is honestly heartbreakingly common. I've seen it time and time again. He is in his mid-30s, married with 2 kids. He's a long-haul truck driver on the road most of the week. So on paper, he was doing everything right, providing, protecting, pushing through. But inside, he was worn down to the bone. He'd come home and collapse. He'd miss birthdays, soccer games, he'd miss bedtime prayers. He'd be in the house, but not in the moments, going through life on autopilot, and the worst part is he knew it. But when survival mode is your default, slowing down feels dangerous, vulnerability feels weak. He kept grinding, kept stuffing it all down, bottling it deep inside until the day I asked him, what do you want your daughter to say about you 20 years from now? His jaw clenched, his eyes glazed over, his hands shook, and right there in that moment, he broke. Not because he didn't love his family, but because he finally saw the gap between the man he wanted to be and the man who he had been. And that's the very moment of breakthrough for him, and that can be the same for you, because he didn't shut down. He leaned into the discomfort. That question didn't just convict him, it called him higher. For the first time in years, Anthony didn't feel like a failure. He felt like a spark was inside. Something was starting to rekindle, a fresh conviction to realign his life with the man God had created him to be. And that was the day that his legacy started. Not someday, today. Today. And after that breakthrough, I didn't give him a checklist, a big to-do list. I gave him clarity through a tool that I like to call my legacy letter. It's radically simple, but don't let that fool you, friend. It's made up of just 3 questions. 3 questions that can help you define and declare the man that you're called to become. Most men will never stop long enough to ask these questions, but the ones who do, they stop reacting and they start leading from a place of love. Because once you've defined your legacy, it starts defining you. You become and unbecome exactly who you were called to be. So let's go there. Let's get deep. Let's talk about it. These are the same 3 questions and prompts that changed Anthony's life. Question 1, my life is a ministry of blank. Most men think ministry is just a sermon on a stage or only reserved for Sunday mornings, but real ministry, it's your presence. Your energy speaks louder. Your actions speak louder than your words. So the question is, what does your presence say? What does your actions and your character say? When you walk in the room, do people feel peace or pressure, warmth or tension? When I asked Anthony this, his first answer broke both our hearts. My ministry is of surviving. And it hit him hard because that's exactly what he'd been doing. surviving, not leading, not thriving. He'd been drifting, not defining. But we didn't stay there. We worked through it. We prayed through it. And together, we rewrote that line to be my life as a ministry of peace and protection, of service. And once he claimed that truth, he started showing up differently. He spoke with intention. He listened longer. His presence began to carry weight, and he knew it. And then question 2 is, I lead through blank. Every man leads through something. Even silence is leading. Even absence speaks. Anthony realized that he had been leading through tension, bracing for disappointment. Always on edge. He didn't want to lead that way, but it was the atmosphere that he was bringing in and changing in his home. So he made that shift. He started to declare, I lead through love, through calm, strength. That one change transformed everything. His daughter started sitting closer at the dinner table. His wife was smiling more. The house felt lighter because his spirit was. He stopped trying to control all the outcomes, and he started controlling what he brought into the room. And then the third question, I want to be remembered as a man who blanks. This is the legacy line, the echo of your life. Not your job title, not your income, but your character in motion. Anthony's line is, I want to be remembered as a man who always showed up, no matter how tired, no matter how hard. Simple, powerful, godly, because showing up is the legacy, especially when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable. So what about you? What do you want your children to say in your eulogy? What do you want your children to say in your eulogy? What do you want your wife to whisper when she sees your old photos? This isn't about perfection, friend. It's about intention and being willing to put yourself out there. It's about showing up now for the legacy you'll leave later. See, Anthony didn't change overnight. You don't just snap your fingers and everything's milk and honey. He didn't need a new job. He didn't wait for a lightning bolt from heaven. He just started with what he could do, that one simple act of radical obedience. And more he began to see more peace, more strength, more purpose, more presence. His daughter runs to the door when he gets home now. His wife says she feels safe and secure again. And the wildest part is nothing about his external life changed, but everything about how he was showing up internally in his intentions, how he lived it. The work we can do together, if you are my client, isn't just woo-woo theory. It's just radical obedience to what God is already asking you to do and be. That is why I end each session with this action, with what I call the P2P, the principle to practice, because it's not enough to know the truth, you have to live it. Wisdom is simply knowledge applied. So here is how you can apply the legacy letter deeper. First, you can start by doing the morning check-in. Ask God, where can I show up fully today? Before the world is spinning, the first thing you do, pause. Before you reach for your phone, before you start checking emails and answering to everyone that is begging for your attention, pause, stop, take the principle of presence. Take that practical step and apply it in practice. And then 2, you can have the evening reflection. You can journal and ask, did I reflect the man I'm becoming? It's not about perfection. It's about practicing the principle of self-awareness and growth daily. And then 3, one act of intentional love every day. Show love on purpose. A note, a moment, a word of encouragement, because love is action. And legacy happens when it becomes your practice. You don't need a bigger to-do list. You don't need another productivity hack. You just need to take the smallest, simplest step into obedience. Radical obedience. You just need a clearer why, and that's exactly what I created for you. I've put together a simple but powerful resource called The Legacy Letter. Inside you'll find those 3 legacy declaration prompts and questions and space for you to answer. A printable guide for your daily P2P. This isn't just a worksheet. This is a compass, a North Star, your reminder, your declaration. So download it, print it out, post it somewhere where you can see it and work on it daily, because when you keep your vision and make it plain in front of you, you will start to see everything align with it. Anthony didn't earn the right to become that man. He just chose to. And now it is your turn. Your kids are watching. Your legacy is waiting, and God hasn't given up on you, and neither have I. So download the legacy letter. Ask the questions. Write down the declaration. Make the shift, and let's build a life that echoes God's truth and God's calling on your life. And I'll see you